Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and it's time for a new game on the channel. A game that doesn't have a single word of English in its title, and yet seems to be playable entirely in English. This game is called 1348 Ex Voto, which is Latin for something like the vow. It's not voting, or against voting, or hating democracy or something. Now, this game is somewhat different to the games I feature on my channel in that it features a distinct message and is clearly made for the modern audience, of which I am not necessarily a member. That being said, I'd like to give it a try and see if I can enjoy it anyway, regardless of the message, rather than because of it. What do I know about this game? It's about a lady with a sword who fights in medieval Italy, and unfortunately there's been a bit of controversy surrounding this game. The developers on social media were having a bit of a go at other games and stuff, and it wasn't. And, you know, lots of people looked at the demo and criticised it. Guess what? I'm going to play this game, give it a bit of a try. If I like it, keep on going. And I probably will criticise the story and the message as well, but I can at least see how it works as a historical game, you know, how good it is as a representation of high medieval Italy. 1348 is pretty much in the high medieval period. I mean, let's see. Dark Age is like 4th to 11th century. Early medieval is like 8th or 9th up to sort of 12th, halfway through the 12th century. High medieval is like 12th to 15th century. Then you get like the late medieval period, which is like 14th to 16th century. It's weird. And then you get into the Renaissance, and there's no more time period overlap, and it's a lot less confusing. So yeah, 1348 I think is high medieval. The high medieval period's only about 150 years, I think. It's quite short because of the overlap with the others. Anyway, there are elements of this story that, you know, are intended for an audience, and I may not be a member of that core audience. Also, the music appears to have stopped. The options menu does not have an option to see any of the controls, just to tell it that I have a normal keyboard. And there's all the other options, a fairly limited thing. The game is priced reassuringly affordable. Let's put it that way. It's not overpriced. Maybe it's a humble offering. It knows what it is, and you know what? I can enjoy it anyway. There are some things that definitely stick out. I've seen a little bit of stuff. Didn't play the demo myself. Saw a little bit of footage from it. There was a line the main character spoke, which is a line that word for word has been spoken by many male characters in fiction for decades now. And she was complaining about how her father would criticize her while she was learning how to use a weapon. And I thought, okay, apart from the fact that that might be the only way he knows how to guide her, by offering, you know, not very constructive criticism, but like, hey, you're doing it wrong, you need to do it better or something, right? Aside from that, the character seemed to be ignoring the fact that he was teaching her how to use a weapon at all in the medieval period, which is a great luxury most women would not get to experience. In fact, almost every woman. Virtually every father in the medieval period wouldn't even dream of putting a weapon in his daughter's hands. Not because necessarily he'd think a man could do a better job, but why would he want to put his daughter in danger? You know, you go into combat with a weapon, you're going to get hurt. Do I agree with the message? It's not really for me, but I don't feel that strongly about it one way or the other. So it'll be more about how it is presented, because it could be very heavy-handed or it could be a really good quality thing. Let's dive in and just see how it goes. Play, new game, go. And maybe we'll get to find some controls out. I've clicked on it. Nothing seems to be happening yet. Hopefully, give it a few seconds and something will. Otherwise, this will be a very short video. Hello, game. The other annoying thing, of course, is that since I couldn't see the controls, I could not tell if any of my recording hotkeys would conflict with them. So, joy. We got something going on here, so there's signs of life.
A fine display. Feat worthy of Lancelot himself, straight from one of your tales.
Why do you insist we come here when all you do is mock?
We are here to distract you from your sorrows. Besides, nightly practice balances your humours, Aeta. Mock play mine.
I practice. I am no knight.
No. No, you're more than that.
Yet I still hear my father's voice instructing me from the shadow of that tree, pointing out my grip, my posture.
There it is.
I hear him closely even though he's with my mother.
The town mourns for the loss of their lord. And I mourn for your loss. Rest your heart. It doesn't help to dwell. You'll need to be strong for the days ahead.
Strong? How can I be? Death has grasped this land and... How can I, or anyone, fight death?
What would your mother have said?
That we do what we must. And that I have a duty as my birthright.
And your father?
To raise my sword and to keep fighting. And to not tell my mother.
So, my noble knight. Arthur. Will you face your end at the hand of your son?
The troubadour does not speak the lines like that, Bianca.
I am not Bianca. I am Mordred, and you are Arthur.
In which case Arthur should have a
Fight.
spear.
Or yield.
You will ruin your vestments.
I said. Fight me.
As thou ask.
As thou asked. Okay, we have WASD movement. Okay.
If your blows are parried, change your stance.
So here's a question. Why is someone with less martial training than us teaching us how to fight? Right, what now? Okay, so we're Witcher timing now.
Let's see you parry and dodge.
Alright. 5 blocks, really? Now, there's something very familiar about this if you've played Expedition 33. Once again, Dear Jennifer English is playing a character who teaches us how to fight at the start of the game. She looks very angry there. Right.
Enough practice. Can't you fight me, brave knight?
I accept your challenge.
And now we're hitting her with a sword. Oh, okay. Interesting. Little parry riposte there. Alright. She seems to be healing. Alright. Unless that's some kind of poise.
Bianca, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you?
A genuine response.
I have fallen. Become the princess of this tale.
Although she's really playing it up.
O my noble knight errant, would thou aid this fair damsel to run?
Apparently we have to left click now, for some reason.
Oh! That's not fair.
The world is not fair. You'd best remember this lesson when I'm gone.
Bianca, life in a convent, it's not the end. Your mother wishes
My mother, who has no dowry or prospect, has no other choice than to send me away. But better these holy vestments than marry me to someone like my father. I'm glad the pestilence took him.
Hey, don't say such things. You speak as if you go to thy grave and not a nunnery. It will be safe there, far from all this death.
Life is hard for peasants. For women, nonetheless.
Bia.
But look at me. My path is not that of a princess or postulant, muddied as I am. Will you wait here while I clean and tend to this scratch?
As thou ask.
It's interesting they're throwing in a tiny smattering of King James Bible English, because that's like a few centuries later and not Italian. So that wasn't necessary.
Sunny afternoon. May it ever remind us of these children's games we played together.
So
The
why
alarm bell.
is Bianca trained in the use of a sword? And is she blatantly going to be using it a lot later on?
What's happening? Did Bia make it back? Oh, I must get to the town.
Now, oh, that's a... Can I zoom out? I cannot zoom out. We are forced into this extremely close camera angle. Probably that way. This appears to be away from the town. But we can nope, we can't go any further. Okay. A lot of people have made an issue of this character's hairstyle. This was a very popular male medieval hairstyle. In fact, I believe King Henry V sported an almost identical hairstyle. The difference is that for it to be an authentic hairstyle, the lower portion would be completely shaved instead of stubble. I don't know if the stubble is... We're going to have to jump out of this in a bit, aren't we? Spacebar by any chance? No, we just bump into it. Well, that's impressive. Let's try that again. Maybe we're supposed to run up here. Nope. Okay, it was spacebar, but we haven't had any prompt to learn how to do that yet. Let me guess. Jump again? Huh? No, we just fall in. Okay. That was interesting. Let's... Okay, so spacebar climbs over things, doesn't necessarily jump. Let me guess, there's a crouch button, but we're supposed to learn. Spacebar to crouch. So spacebar is just a traversal button. There is smoke rising from the town. It cannot be good.
No. A raid. We don't stand a chance with so many lost. It is not too late. Do not give up hope.
Of course, it's probably also worth pointing out that Aeta's name is one letter away from a recently popular internet abbreviation, AITA, for Am I the Arsehole? Perhaps she
Too
is.
few. The pestilence. There is not enough of us left to hold off Briganti. They would seek shelter. Bia would seek shelter.
Not seeing much around here to interact with. This is an early tutorial area. We're probably supposed to head through it at a rate of knots.
What is that red smoke?
Well,
There is still time. I cannot be too late. Bia. I'm coming.
someone's burning a specific substance to give off a signal. You live here. Why don't you know this? Now, who made her armor? It's partial armor, and it's asymmetrical, which was only really very popular with Roman gladiators or people using a big shield. I imagine we might have to use this sword soon. Nope, okay, right. What are you supposed to do? Jump over the wall? There's a crate there, we don't seem to be able to interact with it. Okay, let's just try up and over. And nasty bastard about to get killed.
Don't! Murderer! You'll pay for that!
Okay. Got him, somehow. So I'm not entirely sure what that button means, and I immediately tried to steal from the dead body. Too used to being a Viking or something. Rah. But no, we are person with sword who kills people, apparently. The red smoke is somewhere up over there. That's blocked off. That's blocked off. There are bad people who must be slain. And we're damaged already. That's not ideal, is it?
The bell still tolls. The others must have fled to the church.
Don't suppose we can interact with these apples and... Church would be a good place for people to gather and defend themselves against an attack like this. I heard a creak.
Another cars. A little maudlin.
Come then. If you want this, take it.
Okay, that is a bit bizarre that we're able to power through like that, but it's not healthy. And we're probably going to get ourselves killed. E, apparently, is a button we should press, and Q to heal. Let's E a few more times. And then eat that with a Q. Oh, we can't heal again, apparently. Are we only capable of holding one? Should we have picked one up, healed, picked another up, healed, and so on? Well, she likes to do a slow jog.
Heat. But it's the only way through to the church.
Aye. We'll find a way. Nope, we came in this way. Fair enough. Can we go up this beam? No. In that case, I imagine we're just going over this one. And through here before the heat overcomes us. That gate looks like it's progress. This looks like there might be something we could eat for healing. We've probably had all the healing we're supposed to. Also, we metabolise that cheese rather quickly. Apparently we're doing something with this.
Come on.
Oh, we're going to use it to climb up, aren't we? Yep. Bugger the gate.
Take a deep breath.
Oh, fucking platforming. Yeah, maybe we could just go back to the gate instead. Okay, Can we walk instead of running? Because we don't want to break the door we're on. Alright. New location. Is that an E?
Well,
it's an E. And a
It's
key.
falling silent. Please, I beg thee, do
That's
not
not
let it
good.
be too late.
Okay, I see problem. I see bad guys.
What? What have you done? Killed Overwatch. What did you do?
Okay, so I can't block out of an attack. Now. There we go. Deaded. Excellent. Fun stuff. How far back do we go? Okay. We got a full heal for dying. We were not on full health at the start of this fight. Game, you're acting strangely here.
What have you done? Killed Overwatch. What did you do?
Really healed up quickly. Okay, we have a long thrust. So, is that some kind of poise system then? That's what seems to be going on. We don't interact with the holy water font, but it looks a bit like a well in front of the church, but this is clearly where we want to go. And something bad will doubtless have happened. The gate has been... the front door has been destroyed, there's dead bodies inside. This cannot be good.
They killed everyone.
Voice is a
He's
bit
not
quiet.
dead. Where is she?
We do not interact with the candle. And the game seems to think we still need to fight. That can't be a good sign. At least we're away from the
Keep
flame.
searching.
I didn't catch that at all. It was barely a whisper. Might need to look into audio levels. Can we? We can. Oh, so shift sheaves our sword.
I was too late.
Who is this? Some poor unfortunate wretch. Okay, do we have... Wow. Okay. Options. Audio. Okay, it's as high as it can go apparently. Dialogues. Yeah, that's really quiet. Controls. We have controls now. They were not visible from the main menu. Useful to have them on hand. So, Alt. Alt to dodge? Okay. F to comment. Okay. 1 and 2. We have a target lock on. Where's the target lock on? I've been operating completely without one. R to shift and shift do the same job. And escape to the menu. Okay. So we have skills, apparently. I presume we have no skill points to spend yet, or the game would tell me. Prudentia. Audacia. Fortitudo, locked. And Celeritas, locked. So Celeritas would be something to do with speed, I think. Fortudo being tough. Audacia being audacious. Fendente, I suppose, going with the Italian theme. Health upgrade, guard upgrade, food upgrade. Okay, so stuff we don't have. Trinkets. We got this. A toy knight. Automatically use all food to prevent death. Sir Nocciolo, who heroically lost his left leg in battle with the kitchen cat. A handmade gift from father. Do we use these from the menu? And the sword has pieces which it looks like we'll be able to swap out. Okay. Do we have an option to save the game? We have an option to load the game, but no controls. No option to manually save the game, so auto saves or nothing. Got it. Can we walk like a real person?
Bia, any survivors will be in there.
Okay, I see Badman. Badman shall die.
You'll die for what you did, Kerr.
Stay, you rat.
Fuck's sake, woman. That was rubbish. Look, I right-clicked to block and got hit 3 times. Joy.
You'll die for what you did, Kerr.
Stay, you rat.
Yes, it looks like it's some kind of poise break system where we need to operate a frenzied series of attacks within a short period of time to make them vulnerable and perish. We can't operate interact those flowers. Is there anything else in here? I'm going to just run back the wrong way now to explore a little. Okay, for a moment there, I thought it was a one-way transition and I was locked in now. And I was merely seeing the space point of it. Okay, that's as far as we head in this direction. So we're talking very narrow corridors and a very structured narrative gameplay, which is fine. It's what is being presented to us, and we shall enjoy it all the same. Now, it's also a very combat-heavy game. I wonder if the game is intentionally very quiet because I am recording. That would be an interesting, sneaky thing for the developers to do. In which case, we'll just have to enjoy it. I mean, audio's all at max, so... Okay. There will be more villains, more knaves and scoundrels to deal with. So, many years ago, in a role-playing game with some friends, I created the concept of a character who was a woman that wanted to be treated like a man. She wanted to be allowed to fight, she wanted to be a soldier, a professional soldier. Why? Because her father was a retired cavalry officer who had trained her as a boy. We'll eat that. And she just wanted to act like a man. In fact...
Taken the food, the wine. Not a scrap is left.
So from here, let's just... yeah, if she had the opportunity to magically become a man, she would have probably done so without a thought. You know, without a care to any possible consequences of such a transformation. For instance, if she had somehow managed to become pregnant, she wouldn't have stopped to think what would happen to the fact there's a child inside me and a man's body doesn't have a womb, for example. And that would... This looks like a tomb, but it's a chair. That's a shield. I bet we can't take it. We can't even approach the shield. This is not a shield game for us. This is a sword game for us. Let's hunker down under here, because they might not have quite looted everything.
If they had this food, would be gone.
Okay, we can... What's this? Lots of food. So we can theoretically come back to this and take all these things to restore our health. I imagine there may be great danger ahead. Oh, I see, interesting. You see, there's 2 spaces. One at this... Interesting, I appear to be trapped in here now. There we go. I need to interact with the interaction point on the other side, not one on this side, which is what the game was apparently trying to do. Okay. I wonder if the game will stop when I stop playing and allow me to continue from that point, or if it will be just the autosaves only. Well, we just had an autosave, and since I'm planning on recording it... Oh shit. No. Big cross on the door, someone's got the plague. We do not approach. More food. That's so many healing items. Each day, new marks. Yes, it's for plague, for pestilence. It's all over this part of town. We probably should head back. We don't know how we catch it. First we'll start sneezing and smelling roses when there are none. And then it gets into, like, yeah, the fevers, the sweats, the buboes. It's all pretty revolting. Let's get over this. And a new autosave.
Open up! Open up, I say!
I don't think there'll be much opening.
I'll not let you harm another soul.
Okay, you. Halt. It ain't happening. Right, can I... I can. I can queue in a fight. And I can't dodge though. Okay. The dodge button is not very responsive. It's also a little bit of an awkward placement. And I can't rebind it. Okay. Oh! I can't move forwards. I am trapped in left and right movement only. Wait, I can go backwards. Now I can go forwards. Wait. What's those three little things on the left? Is that healing items? I can't come towards you, good sir. I have to... I really cannot. Which makes you rather hard for me to vanquish. Also, aha! Nope, I still cannot progress further towards the knave. Perhaps he can approach me. Nope. Leave while you still can. Well, guess what? I can't leave. Oh yes, maybe if you could... Now can I... Oh, now I can move. Excellent. So, if I just try this a moment. Yes. So, the three things on the left are my Q heals. So I will go back and pick up some more. From the ruined house. Again, don't know why the game's audio is so low. But it is what it is. And there's plenty of food in here, lots of cheese and sausages and something else for that matter. Can I have... Yes, I can. And then I can eat and pick up some cheese. Excellent. And some more cheese. Oh, so they partially fill. Right, now let's... Worked this time, that's great. Let me guess. We won't get the autosaves again. Yeah, anyway, so the point I was getting to previously is when I created that character, she had a very girly name because it was her mother's name because her mother died in childbirth. Consequently, she was an only child, and her father raised her as a boy because he really wanted one, and would have given her a boy's name if her mother was still alive. Or, you know, one of those extremely masculine girls' names that are just like a boy's name with an extra syllable on the end or a slightly effeminate ending. Anyway, when this character was presented to the other players and made mentions about how she wanted to be accepted, the other player characters totally accepted her, which is fine. However, all of the players acted as if there was no such social prejudice for her to fight against. And in the entire world, and were surprised that she acted as if there were, which destroyed her whole raison d'etre, her reason for existence, and so the character never really got played very much after that. Which is like, oh, that would have been fun if people would have gone along with the idea. Yeah, she would have been like a sort of Brienne of Tarth character, by which I don't mean woman who fights, I mean woman who wants social acceptance.
Anyone inside? Is Bianca with you? Aeta? Oh, thank
Just a
the Lord.
moment, I have an idea.
We heard the bells. No, Bianca's not with us.
It's my headphones that have been malfunctioning the entire time. I've jammed the audio jack back into the front of the computer and now I can hear everything perfectly. Shouldn't have affected the recording at all. I go over this, do I? No, I don't. Okay. Do I go over this? I do. Fair enough. And that would have been a fun character to play in, if the players had been
I cannot lose you two.
willing to go along with the concept of a character whose struggle was not necessarily physical, but more to do with social acceptance. And a bit of an edge case. And is there going to be some... This looks like a place where we'll have to fight. And this looks like a place where there may be supplies for us to gather. Such as this one. We can't take it because we're totally full up already. But it's nice of the developers to have provided us with ample provisions. I suppose the total healing on death is to... I see 2.
What's this then? A knight?
No, she's not a knight. If she were a knight, she would possess a castle
My sword shall
and a
speak for me.
significant portion of the countryside, and would own all of the people who lived in that countryside, and would be responsible for them. Okay. Okay. Back up, back up, back up. What we want to do is divide and conquer. Now so far, bugger. Should have healed. And he's on his own now. Right, we'll fucking have him. Interesting. I was able to right-click out of the hold right-click to shift from the heavy stance into a block. That cannot be good. We've seen that before.
Bianca, where have they taken you? God, hear my vow. Father, you have taught me honor and respect. Watch upon me now. Let my sword strike true. Mother, you have given me the courage to be myself. Guide my steps on this forlorn journey. Those that I have failed today, may I one day be worthy of your forgiveness. Bianca, you are all that is left to me. I shall save you. This, I vow.
That sounds rather serious. And I believe, up until release, this was the end of the demo, so let's see what happens next. I imagine now we might get a skill point if we're really lucky. let's assume that the reason Bianca was better at fighting with a sword with us at the beginning is that we were in a bad mood from frustrating training, trying to take out some negative attitudes and experience. Okay, we find ourselves in a very new location. We don't know much about it. We've got an autosave, so we can stop here, and it probably is a good point to end the episode, actually. I will, though, just go look at those skills again, just in case we have none. So that's 5 scrolls. Do we need to 15, 15, 50? So we might need to pick up physical scrolls to trade in for these. Perhaps the historical fencing manuals. Oh, there are some quite famous Italian ones, aren't there? Obviously we didn't really get anything special from the first chapter, but hey, we got to play, and I don't think I was too critical of this game. Let's have a look at this, though, for a moment. She has armour on one arm, and does not predominantly use that arm to take the hits. And the joint guard there, which is to protect the armpit, to stop someone thrusting a knife in, because you can get a dagger through the armpit to very near the heart, or in fact to it indeed. You have to be able to get to the arm, and usually while someone's fighting that's not easy. But that's one of the main purposes of the joint protector there. The armour looks good, what there is of it. She doesn't have very much. I don't know if she'll get more. I believe the developers commented that they wanted her armour to be quite light and give the impression of her being nimble. I don't seem to have played it quite that way, do I? We've got pack on her back, sleeping roll, and a dagger. Not a ballock knife, mind you. More of a... It's like a thin chinkeda, almost, but without the massively exaggerated triangular... And that's more of a Renaissance weapon anyway. We've got another bag here, so she carries a lot of stuff on her. And I imagine she'll carry it into the next episode. If you leave comments down below, hey, fine. At this point, if you were expecting me to say, if you leave comments down below, I'll filter out any negative ones. Nope. You leave whatever comments you like, you know. This game is very much written for the modern audience who... look, I'm not going to be judging things like how viable this woman looks as a warrior, right? She has a sword and it is quite sharp. If she uses it well, she uses it well. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And with my middle-aged arthritic hands, she probably won't use it that well. But hey, I'm here to enjoy the game anyway. Some of the combat controls felt a little sluggish or responsive at times, and also mouse camera speed is good, but in the menu the mouse speed seems a little, not this one but on the main menu, it drags a little, as if there's mouse acceleration on the main menu for some reason. Interesting. Guard, that's for quillons. Pommel, grip, quillons, blade, and the tang of the blade goes down through the grip to the pommel. See, I know my sword stuff a little bit, and we have things that it all says no effect. Presumably then we can swap out pieces of the sword, because you can completely disassemble a sword and reassemble it, you know. It just takes a bit of time and know-how. Trinkets, we have this. Automatically use all food to... How? Well, it was the kitchen cat, so we got the link with food there. Treasures? Ah! Do we... what? Do we attach them to this? Ex Voto. Strange that such a small token can have such weight. This Ex Voto belongs to Bianca. After taking vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, she was to offer it in thanks to the Blessed Virgin on her consecration as a nun. Not a path you nor I would have wished for, yet it was the path offered, one that would have kept you safe in these dark times. I shall remember this. I shall save you. This I vow. And we can confirm or close. I don't... Okay. There we go. So with that, I will end this episode here. Look, I'm going to criticise the bad stuff about this game, but I'm not going to go massively heavy on that. And I'm going to try to enjoy the positive aspects of it and see how I can enjoy it as a game, regardless of whatever social messaging is in it. And let's be honest, the social messaging isn't exactly subtle. It's not exactly hitting you over the head either, though, so it's kind of slightly heavier. Anyway, see you guys next time. I'm going to go record something else now, so that I can upload 2 videos. Awesome. Bye for now, guys. Cheerio.